All right. Well, welcome. My name is Cy Fisher. We're going to be doing a little training course on how to make a blog for your agent website. We're going to be real thorough. We're going to cover a couple different things: why you'd want to why you would want to write a blog, how to write a good blog, and how to do all the techie stuff, meaning how to format it, how to get it on your website, and how to optimize it so that it's actually found in Google and can drive traffic to your web page. So you guys are probably familiar already with this process, but if you're not, you can check it out from your worksite. To get to your website, you just click on the link here. It'll bring you to your admin page. Actually, let's do a little chatting first before I get into this part. We're gonna have a little conversation. So can anyone tell me what are the good reasons why you'd want to write a blog?
To drive interest.
Website.
Drive interest, definitely. Mike?
I was just thinking bringing people to your website or to your
100% to drive traffic to your website, for sure. Any other reasons you guys can think of?
Reveal who you are a little.
Yeah, allow people to get to know you, build rapport, definitely. Another good one is to create like authority, air of authority or expertise in an area. So, people can trust you when they have any questions about your area. Those are all good reasons. Another good reason, and it's kind of the same as driving traffic to your website, but it's to capture more leads. Your website's like a really powerful tool, actually. It's like an employee who works 24/7 that you don't have to pay if you set it up right and you are driving traffic to your website. So yeah, those are all really good reasons. I'm working on a single screen today. So like for me, it's like, feels like I'm handicapped or something. Hold on a second. I'm bringing back up my outline. So let's talk about what makes a good blog. I'd say the main thing is to create content that is relevant to your market. A lot of people will start writing blogs and they'll just write, because they feel like they want to write a blog. And, maybe it's therapeutic for them and it's useful for them, but it's probably not necessarily getting to the people that they're wanting it to get to, or is not providing value to the people necessarily that they want to provide value to. So creating content that is relevant to your market. For us, that's mostly related to Whidbey Island. It doesn't have to be real estate related at all, but it's mainly about things related to the island. You want your blog to be easy to read, so you want short paragraphs. You don't want long blocks of text. That's the worst thing you can do for a blog. You want to use pictures and video if possible. You want to write in a conversational tone. One other thing is you can embed social media posts. You'll see a lot of the blogs on the main Windermere website that various people have written. This is the one I wrote for Codes for Kids, and we'll check it out in a sec here. But yeah, multimedia, pictures, video when possible. And you can embed like a Facebook post or different things that are relevant to your content as well. That's pretty useful to do. We're going to talk about good headlines. So I honestly think that I probably could have improved this headline. It needs to have Windermere, or not Windermere, but Whidbey Island probably in the headline for search engine optimization. But charity drive 2020, those are strong keywords that are going to, target the relevant people that I want to see it. Definitely Whidbey Island should be in this header. So relevant, when you're looking at how the search engine works and how it's going to find your blog post, your title and your header are where you want to stack all of your keywords. Now you may want to create like a cute header and like write something cute, but it's not going to work as effectively. You can put that in your paragraphs and whatnot. You want to stack your keywords in your title and your sub header. It's really important. So this is really good. Windermere Real Estate South Whidbey. That's a great keyword, and it's the first part of my subheader. When you're doing that, that's going to make it so when people search that specific search criteria, they'll find you in Google. It'll bring them to your website, which is ultimately the goal. Let's go back to the outline. Good headlines include, a lot of people like to use lists, like, hey, 10 things you'd want to know about Whidbey Island. Those are fantastic headers. People are always clicking on that sort of stuff. How to. So how to get your own septic inspection done on Whidbey Island. Great headers. Questions. So how do I extend my living room? I don't know, whatever questions you guys can think of about that's relevant to what your content is. So those are all really good headlines that when they pop up, actually, those are like search criteria that people will use, any one of those things. So what are the best places to go to on the island for coffee? Here's a list of 10 things, 10 cafes in Whidbey Island. Okay, how to. So you want to format these, your title and headers in a way that you think it's actually going to be the criteria that people are searching for. That is going to give you the most success in writing a blog. If you forget everything else, that's one of the most important things. Let's talk about your introduction. You can use a lot of different kind of formats, but here's the thing about blog posts. A lot of people aren't necessarily reading 100% of the content. So you want your intro to basically be the too long didn't read, TLDR. So that may seem kind of silly for some people because you're basically summarizing what the rest of everything is so they don't have to read it, but it's important to do that. And it also, the first 100 words in your blog is also will help you get ranked in Google searches. So if you put keywords in your first 100 words as well, so title, subheader, and first 100 words are the most important places to put keywords. So you can use kind of a format. What's the problem? What's the solution? And maybe like a case study or like the proof that your solution works. That's one structure you could use, and you would put that all in your intro. All right, let's go into some of the techie stuff. So does everyone know how to get to your website admin panel at this point? Or okay. So from, just so you guys do know, from the work site, you just click on my website, it brings you right to the admin panel. From here, you can go to the blog post section. And this is the Windermere Whidbey website admin panel. So you can see all of the blog posts that have been posted throughout time here. There's a little tool here that talks about SEO and your SEO score. So does everyone know what SEO stands for?
No.
So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And it's basically how you rank for different search engines, how you're going to appear in a search engine if you're going to appear in a search engine. Now, this first bubble right here is the most important because it has to do with your SEO score. The second one, I would work on it, but it's kind of subjective. It's your readability score. So maybe they'll say, hey, you need to use more prepositions or whatever. So you can see I at least made the first bubble in mine, the SEO score, to be green. And I'll show you kind of what that entails. So we're going to the post that the blog post that I made. Actually, let's first just look at what it looks like. So we're already checking out a little bit. I made a little graphic. You don't have to. You can just post an image of any variety. But I would start with a header image. Kind of brings appeal immediately. Once again, keywords in the first 100 words and the title and the subheader. So the ways that you can stack and build search engine optimization, there's a lot of different ways, but some of the key ways are having internal links, which means links that link to different places in your website. So within your website, internal links. So you can say, hey, when you talk about Windermere somewhere, you can link to your homepage. It's because building these webs, it's not necessarily for the usability of people browsing the blog, although it can be. But when a crawler from a search engine comes and looks at your blog post to determine what the value is of it to a potential person you want that the crawler will serve up in a search result, it looks at these webs that you're building, the internal and external links, and that's how your website or blog post will rank higher in its SEO and higher in search results. So you want to put as many internal links, which means links to within your website, and external links to credible websites. This is extremely important. If you want your blog post to be effective, to drive traffic and to appear in search results, internal and external links. So as many as you can. Even you can make, images links. So get logos from, if you're talking about specific places, use their logos. You can find them online, and you can turn them into links. Video is obviously going to be awesome to have. And you guys all have the capability, as we can see, to record video, make and record video. And it doesn't have to be anything like massive production. You could literally flip on Zoom, hit record, talk for a minute and a half, and put it up on your blog post, and it would add some sort of video element, which, you know, is helpful.
So if you take a video with your camera, like, can you upload that? I mean, and where does that get uploaded?
Are you talking about from your computer or from your phone, or where are you talking about?
From the phone. Like if let's say we're at a particular, like I'm just thinking, okay, MTU is coming up. I'm gonna be there. I might be able to get somebody to just show, okay, what we do in the community as far as volunteering.
You 100% should do that. Even if you don't use it immediately, you need to use all these opportunities to get video. So just get someone, like you said, to record you from your phone. And there's a lot of different ways. You can upload it directly to YouTube that way. You can upload it to Vimeo, but you want to host that video somewhere.
Yeah.
So you can host it on your own Facebook if you want. You could host it through Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo. Those are all the most common places. You don't want to upload the video to your website, right, because it'll slow down the load time of your page way too much. And that's actually another piece of criteria they look at when ranking your site for SEO. If you have a long load time, Google will be like, nope, that's not appearing in searches. People don't want long load times. So you have to host it somewhere. You're going to host it on Facebook, YouTube, or Vimeo. You can create an account for free. It's really easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, click upload video, type in, you know, the title or whatever. And then once you have it uploaded there, you can click on the share button and you can select embed. Let's look at the post, the internal workings of the post. So here. Oops,
oh, that's a YouTube. Okay.
I thought I would be able to see the embed code. At any rate, from here, if you just click on the insert button, this is where you're going to insert. So you insert media. And you can see here, since I do have it highlighted, it shows just the web address, the URL. And you don't have to put the HTTPS. You can just start with the actual web address of your video from wherever it's hosted. So YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook. You can, excuse me, change the dimensions to see how big you want the video to appear. You always want to constrain proportions so it doesn't get messed up. You can also use.
If you upload it in Facebook, do you have to post it? Does it have to be posted then? So it's just So
with Facebook, I haven't uploaded a lot of videos to Facebook, to be completely honest.
So that would be really making a YouTube channel. I mean, creating a YouTube account for
yourself.
Yeah,
but you can make the video like you could just. You don't have to take a lot of time to create your YouTube channel. You can literally just sign up for it. Okay. It doesn't matter if, you know, you have a header banner and you have an about, all this sort of stuff. You just need a place to host your video. If you want to fill out your YouTube channel and make it nice, I would recommend that as well. Both blog posts and YouTube videos are what they refer to as evergreen content. So when you make a blog post, it stays on your website forever. And if you optimize it to appear in searches, it will continue to appear in searches and drive traffic to your website forever. We're looking at the analytics on the Windermere Whidbey website, and there's blog posts from 2018 that's still driving traffic to the website. There's also blog posts, because they're written by different agents, that have never driven a single person to the website. And all has to do with how they optimized it. So 2 years later, this You Pick Berries blog post, because relevant content and very specific niche, it was during that specific time when all the berries were ready to be picked, we saw a spike in traffic from a blog post that was 2 years old. So it's evergreen content. It's same with YouTube videos. You put that YouTube video up there, you know, talking about the charity event on Whidbey, that's going to be there forever. You know, when people are looking back throughout the years of Codes for Kids, they're going to be like, oh, that was cool from that year, or just charities on Whidbey, you know, that sort of stuff. If you do, you know, a feature of a local restaurant, that's going to be up there forever. When someone's looking for the best bakery or coffee shop, there's not a lot of competition right now for Whidbey Island videos too. That's the other thing. Our market is low in competition for these types of things. So you can rank high very easily. you go to a place like Seattle, you're going to have a hard time ranking for top 10 coffee shops in Seattle. You'll have a real difficult time. You go look right now for top 10, even top 5 bakeries or whatever on South Whidbey, you could probably be the #1 video if you just put up a video. And it's evergreen content. You got to make sure that it's linking back to your website. So ultimately they're getting back to your website too. Now, on the other hand, social, go ahead, Peggy.
Just wondering, there's a third media forum that you were talking about besides Facebook and YouTube. What is that?
You can embed Facebook posts and content from people's Instagram as well. And you just do that through the same way, like you insert media, and then you go to the embed option. So if you go to like a Facebook post and hit the share feature, it's going to give you a variety of options. You can come up with either the source code, so the web address that the post lives on, or sometimes they'll give you the embed code, and you just cut and paste it here. And I've seen Annie and Simona do this pretty frequently with their blog posts, is they embed Facebook and Instagram content. So if they're talking about the local farm or whatever that sells produce, they'll actually take a Facebook post at that local, or I mean, usually it's Instagram. I've seen a little bit more than Facebook. They'll take a post from their Instagram page, the farm they're talking about, and embed it into their blog. So that's another type of media you can use. And it's not something that you have to take a lot of time creating. Someone else already created it for you, and it's going to make your blog post look a lot nicer. And it creates that linkage as well. You're linking to social media. You're linking to other things. So that's really important.
I think she means the Vimeo.
So the Vimeo is another platform that you can use to host videos.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the word. I know Vimeo.
Okay.
I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. Yeah. So
Thank
Vimeo,
you. I appreciate
Vimeo, yeah, those are the different platforms you can use to host your videos. So you don't have to host them from your website. Where are we? Let's see. All right. A really good way to search for keywords, and this is a huge thing because not everyone is going to be like, automatically know what type of keywords to put in their blog or what title to use for their blog post. The easiest way to do this, and it's free, is just to go to Google and start typing in part of your search, and then look at what auto populates there. Those are the search criteria that people are using most frequently. So if you want to do, just for an example, the top 5 coffee shops, you could just type in Whidbey Island coffee and then just see what populates in that list. Those are a good way to find keywords. There are a lot of different tools you can use too. Google has a tool called Keyword Planner, and you can type in real estate, right? And it's going to tell you a whole list of different keywords that people are using in conjunction with real estate to search for things on Google. Now, the more tailored you are to that search criteria, so real estate Whidbey Island, for example, if you have that specific title and that specific phrase in your subheader and that specific phrase in your first 100 words, Google is going to rank it higher. It's going to be like, this is a high quality post for that search criteria. It's as far as based on keywords. But then you have to have the other components, like I said, internal links, external links, you're going to rank high. But so to look up your keywords, you can use Google Auto Suggest, you can use Google Keyword Planner. Those are some good areas to look at for that sort of stuff. There's a bunch of different tools too. If you just look up keyword like research tools, you can go find one that you prefer to. It's easier to use or whatever you like the most. All right. So from here, let's just talk about the actual construction. We did talk about how to embed media already, so that's pretty great. Here on the right-hand side are categories. And this is important too. You want to categorize your blog posts. And so this is how it's going to make it organized. What's that, Mike? Oh, you have categories? Are you taking notes?
Yes, I'm taking really good notes.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's powerful stuff. It does take time, but like I said, the good part about this is it's evergreen. So you make that blog post, if you take the time and optimize it, it's evergreen content. So here's categories. You can add your new category you want. For this one, I put it as events and I put things to do in Whidbey, even though it's a charity. It just made sense to me. I could have written by our agents, but while I did write some of it, I'm not really the person spearheading it. So I just left that unchecked. Here, tags. And this is already, sometimes in the past, you would have to write your own code, right? To figure out where to put these tags and put them embedded into the code. Here, they just have a little widget. So you can literally type in all of your keywords and all of your tags. This is basically your keyword section. So if they're not included in the text on your post, on your blog, you can put them here. It is more powerful to have them included in the text in your actual post. But if you want to add some additional phrases here, add them here. So I put, 2020 Whidbey Island Charities, charity drive, coats and boots for kids, readiness to learn, Whidbey Island Charities, Windermere Foundation, Windermere Freeland, Windermere Langley. So you want to come up with as many as you can, and you can put them all right here, which is helpful. You want 100% be sure to include a featured image. The featured image is ideally going to be a square image because it'll appear as a square regardless if it is a square in some areas. So you definitely want to have a square so it doesn't crop weird for you in certain areas. Let's see here. So that's mainly the things as far as what you can do here. On the very, very bottom, there's another section. This is the plugin, and this is like the plugin that pretty much everyone with a WordPress site uses, called Yoast Seo. It's very, very helpful for improving your SEO. And you can kind of look at how it's going to appear in Google. Coats for Kids Charity Drive, 2020 Windermere Whidbey. Cool. It's got a link, and it's then you have this area, which is what they refer to as your meta description. So if you don't write a meta description here, Google will just take random content that it thinks is most important and populate it. But it's better to write your own. And this is where you can stack keywords and design exactly how you want it to look in your Google search. So this is just at the bottom of the blog page. You can, cut and paste and be somewhat redundant, especially if you're using a lot of your keywords in the first 100 words. But you want to make sure you put this in, because this is what's going to appear on Google, and this is what's going to get people to want to click. Coats for Kids Charity Drive 2020, Windermere Real Estate South Whidbey is partnering once again with Readiness to Learn to spread goodwill and the spirit of giving throughout our community. So all of the keywords are stacked at the beginning. That's important for your meta description. Down here, you can pick a specific key phrase that you want to optimize for. So I picked Coats for Kids Whidbey, and this is what has to do with the little green dot. It's going to help you by indicating how well you've optimized for that specific key phrase. So whatever you think is your main search criteria, real estate on Whidbey Island, coffee shops on Whidbey Island, whatever you think is the ideal search phrase, you put it right here, and Yoast is going to tell you how well you're optimized for that key phrase. Pretty powerful, pretty useful. This stuff was really difficult to do in the past, and with these widgets and plugins, they've made it a lot easier for people if you just know where to look. This is really cool, actually. If on your web, so the more blog posts you put on your website, the more keywords and separate things, your overall website raises its search engine optimization. The more of this stuff you have on there, the more of authority you become in the eyes of just Google, the search. So if you start making a bunch of different blog posts and they're all about all different topics, you're building SEO. It doesn't even matter if that blog post is driving traffic to your website specifically, it's still going to increase the SEO of your overall website. And you can select, say you do a piece of content that is really about just real estate on Whidbey Island, which is the main topic of your entire website. You can turn this on Cornerstone Content. And you say, this is a piece of Cornerstone content that has to do with the main purpose of my website. So Google is going to recognize that and add. So all of those search terms that you couldn't put on because it looks stupid in your design on your homepage because you didn't want to type in Windermere Real Estate South Whidbey. Real estate agents on Whidbey Island are the best. The top agents on Whidbey Island all work for Windermere because it just sounds like keyword stacking and it doesn't flow nicely. Well, you can continue to add those keywords and pieces of content. And you can say, hey, this is Cornerstone content. And that signifies to Google that, exactly that it's Cornerstone content for your website. That covers a lot of the tech stuff. Let's see, let me look at my outline here. Page loading speed, we talked about that briefly. It is important for you to rank high. So you want to optimize your images too. You can just type in.
Where's your cursor right now? Where are you?
I'm looking at my outline, which is not on the screen.
Okay, sorry.
But I'm just going to talk about page loading speed. There's tools online that you can use to compress your images that don't sacrifice quality, at least like not to the visual eye, unless they're using like a 4K TV and it's 60 inches. No one's going to notice the difference. You can cut your image size in half by doing that. And if your page load speed is above a certain rate, it really deranks you. I know there's a lot of stuff to think about and a lot of different components, but I got to throw it in there because it is something that
So
will.
when you load your picture, you load it at a lower res?
Yes. And like I said, you can load not necessarily a lower resolution, but use a compression tool. So I use Photoshop because I have Photoshop, but you can just search online, compress my JPEG, and you won't have to download anything. You don't have to do anything. You just go to the website, you upload your photo. It'll basically cut the size by 50%. And then you just re-download it, and that's the image you use to upload. Okay, let's talk about off-page search and optimization. So we talked about on-page, internal links, external links, metadata, keywords, featured image, all that stuff. Now, off-page SEO. Number one, share post to social media. Ask other people to share post. You can share your post in groups in Facebook. That's very, very powerful. You don't want to just spam your content in groups. You want to share your content when there's a need. So someone asks a question. Hey, where would you guys recommend to go for coffee? Oh, hey, check this out. I wrote an amazing blog post. Bam, strong. They might share in groups, especially because there's tons of potential for people to share it to their friend who is asking that question. Reshare, reshare, reshare. Yeah, it can be really, really powerful. So yeah, always on your social media and when there's a need in your Facebook groups. One thing you can do, and this is kind of next level stuff, is start building an email list. For me, if I take the time to make some blog posts, which I intend to as soon as I quit my job and no longer am teaching you guys and doing full-time real estate, and I have time to do these sorts of things. If I make a blog post, I'm 100% putting a link on it that says, hey, usually you want to offer something of value, but at bare minimum, you can offer to inform them when you release a new blog post. So you exchange something of value for the email. Hey, sign up here and you'll be the first to know when I release a new blog post. Start making your email list. Peggy?
Hey, yeah, I have this other website called Living Woodby Island, by the way, and I have a subscribers list that goes to Google, but apparently, and I have 99 subscribers from my website, but I know that I have many more, but it's not showing up on the list. Is that the spreadsheet or is that the website or the, you know what I'm saying?
So some plugins, if you're using a plugin to track your subscribers, some plugins they limit you until you pay for the paid version or whatever. That's a very common issue that people may encounter. It could be that. It could be your spreadsheet. Maybe you just need to go add more rows to it or something.
Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. And
so it could be a variety of reasons. I would have to look at it specifically.
Yeah.
Most commonly, that would sound like you need to pay for the full version of the plugin you're using to help with your subscriber list or something.
Yeah, I think I need you to take a look at it at some point, because I know that I have way more than 100 subscribers, but they're not showing up anymore.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Like there's people that once they built that email list, they send out a weekly or monthly newsletter, and that generates all of their business. Like
yeah,
100%.
and yes, and so I need to be able to expand this spreadsheet somehow, but I'm not sure if Squarespace has cut me off at 100 or what. But I pay for the domain.
Number one, and because I don't want to waste any of your time, I'm not that familiar with Squarespace. I've never built a website on that platform. It's pretty similar to WordPress, but with a lot less flexibility and maybe some more ease of use for some people. I would reach out to Squarespace first to their tech support and see if they can help you. And if they can't, then we can take a look at it.
Yeah, thanks. I don't mean to take up this time, but
no worries.
Go ahead.
All right, so the next section, build the email list. Very important, very powerful. Start building it on day one. If you're gonna take the time to make the content, get the most value out of it that you can. If you can get an email, that's extremely valuable. Last thing on off-page SEO is backlink building. I mean, I've said this multiple times about how, different things are important for SEO. Backlinks are extremely important as well. If you can get a credible website to link back to your website, that lends massive amounts of credibility in the eyes of the search engine for how it would rank your site. So if you can share, if you know people who run their own businesses, run other websites or anything like that that's relevant to you, it's like, hey, I just wrote this piece of content. It's going to improve your website by putting it on there. You should put it on there. If you can get even just the easiest, and I mean, it's not as effective as a huge credible website, but one easy way you can get backlinks is just go post on Reddit or in forums or something like that. You could literally just go post on a big forum that's about real estate or whatever and be like, hey, I just wrote this blog post. And you could link to your blog post. And that's a backlink now to your blog post. The more you have of those, the more that the search engine will think you have a quality article. People are linking back to your article, therefore it'll rank higher. Last thing I want to talk about is just blog tips as far as specific to real estate. What sort of content? We did talk about some various things earlier, but content that's specific to zip codes, content or specific to neighborhoods. If you're doing content that is specific to real estate, add the IDX links. What an IDX is the feed that you get from MLS. So the featured properties widget on our websites that shows the listings, that's what an IDX link is. You can just get a specific one of those, put those embedded on your blog post, and that's very helpful. Types of posts. Real estate market info. If you're going to do like a market update sort of thing, make sure your heading is relevant. So what are people searching for when they're not going to search for the quarterly review of 98236 in the Google search? They're going to search for, how is Clinton doing? What's the Clinton real estate market looking like right now? You have to think about what they're going to be searching. Lifestyle in your market. So best coffee shop, bakeries, we kind of discussed that already. Best hikes, best dog parks, best beaches, whatever you want to do, stuff in your market. Yeah, and that pretty much covers, I think, everything that I wanted to cover. You guys have any questions for me? Cool. Is everyone comfortable with getting to where you create the blog on the website? Yep, just over here in blog posts from your admin panel. Let's go look at what it looks like when you first get there. From here, you just click Add New. Okay. All right, let's run through it real quick. Title. Tell me something about the title. Who wants to go?
The headline needs, are we brainstorming, or is this?
No, I'm just asking you to do some recap. Tell me what you want the title to be.
The headline needs to have something like would be. It needs to have Windermere. It needs to have something that's going to be common to the search.
Yeah, perfect.
Keyword stacked.
Yep.
Keyword stacked, and the beginning of the title is actually it gets that specific. If you put your keywords in the beginning of the title too, rather than at the end of the title, those are the most focused keywords. Categories. Make relevant categories. Who can tell me what this section down here for where my cursor is? What's that for?
Tags.
Mm-hmm. More information. Tell me more. Go ahead.
Again, it's more information, more words, keywords that you could tag your blog with that people are interested in and will drive the search.
Yeah. They call them tags here, but it's synonymous with keywords, what they're going to look for as far as keyword searches. Who can tell me some important information about the featured image? Go ahead.
It's got to be square.
It's got to be square. All right. What am I going to do down here in this section? This looks kind of confusing. What happens if I click on this? Oh, interesting. I didn't actually touch on this that much. The title, you can just delete these if you want, but what they are is they pull variables from the blog, and this is how it's going to be formatted as your main title. Actually, if you don't put any information here, it'll use your main header as the title, so you can do either one. So right now I just put site title, and you can see it popped up Windermere Whidbey.
Kind of like does it provide us a little subtitle underneath? So it has that main title, and this is the subtitle. So if they want to continue to read a little bit more about it, it would drive then at that point.
Yeah, well, this is your SEO title. So you can, this is the preview up here, right here, and then down here is where you're editing that preview. So if I put site title first, now let's put title. I don't have a title yet, but if it would put whatever is here now in that section. See what I'm saying? And this is, you can put specifically what you want your title to be here, rather than it just using your header. If you leave this blank, it's just going to auto-populate with what your header is. So that's fine too. But down here, this is important. Meta description. What is this going to do? This is actually this whole section here in your search result. So usually you'll see, you know, the header, the title, possibly a link, and then you see a little short description of why someone's going to click on it. You don't fill this out. It's just going to pull random text from your blog post and put it there. You want it to be more concentrated. You don't want it to say just some rambling stuff that you put in your blog because Google thought that was the most important thing. You want to put exactly what you want someone to see and why they would click on it. Cool. That's pretty good. Focus key phrase. Who wants to tell me about that? I'll go over it really quick. The focus key phrase is what's going to help you to optimize it. If you put in here, best coffee on Whidbey Island, it's going to give you a little indicator over here in the Yoast plugin how well you've optimized for that key phrase. This is a blank blog post, but if I put in the key phrase, I don't know if it'll do anything since I don't have, yeah, it's going to say red. So my blog post is empty. I'm trying to optimize for the keyword Windermere. That's not in my title. That's not in my meta description. That's not in the content on my blog. Mine is a red right now because it's not optimized for that keyword. So this is just a little tool that helps you to optimize. It's going to indicate how well you've been doing. That's all it does. It doesn't display anywhere your focus phrase or anything. Pretty powerful. So yeah, Cornerstone Content. Make something that's really relevant to the main purpose of your website. Click on here, and it's going to help you. That's pretty much it for the recap. That's the techie stuff. That's kind of the hardest part for a lot of people. If you guys have questions for me at any point in time, you can obviously reach out and I'm going to help you. Do you have any other questions for me right now? Cool. I guess we're done.
This is very helpful, Sai. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad. It's really powerful. It is time consuming, but I like this more possibly than spending a lot of time on social media, because social media is not an evergreen. It's not evergreen content. It goes live and it dies very rapidly, and you have to continue posting with consistency. Now, social media is extremely powerful, and you can streamline it so it doesn't take a lot of time, but you have to get good at it. Whereas this, you post it, it's going to be there forever. So pretty powerful.
Like that.
You blog as a team.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a really good idea.
You wanted to team with somebody and team up and do that. So that's one question. And then this is off topic, but just listed, just sold stuff and runs through the web, the web piece. Is that very difficult to set up?
In what way? As a blog post or?
No, not in blogging. Well, it could be a blog, but I see sometimes on social media, just listed, just sold.
Yeah, no, you just reach out to me and I will post that on Facebook. If you did a just listed or just sold, I told people this in the Tuesday meeting, and it blows my mind that people have not reached out to me.
Right.
Because
so
I just post that.
Yeah.
And you should post that.
Yeah,
I guarantee you're going to see it for my listing, just listed and just sold every single time. Right. Unless it's the only thing on the social media and it's too much. Like if I'm doing that much business, maybe I'll pick the best ones, but there's no way I'm not going to do that as soon as I get a listing. I'm going to do it for every listing mostly, I'd imagine. And you can reach out to me and I'll post it on the main Facebook. it's kind of interesting topic. As far as the Instagram, I have access to it and I can post on it. But last time I did that with Coats to Kids, the North office who originally created the Instagram was like, you need to contact us and blah, blah, blah before you post. And I was like, okay, well, they basically told me not to post on their Instagram, even though it's high quality, nice, and it's a charity. I think they were upset that it only included the Southern offices. So it was about, for the charity was only Freeland Langley, but there's been stuff on that Instagram that, you know, is only for the North, obviously, and only for the South in the past. But basically what I'm getting at is I can post on Facebook for you guys. I'm probably not gonna be posting on the Instagram, our main Instagram. I would post on your own business pages as well. So I'll post on, we'll post on the main Windermere, post on your own as well.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. But
okay. So if you just contact me, I'll give you the image for it. So I'll create a little image. We have some templates that we use. I can create custom ones as well. Just tell me, hey, here's the property, here's the information, here's what it's listed for, here's the address, here's the picture that I want you to use, the main picture.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the only criteria I need. You send me that and I'll send you back the image of the just listed image. And you just use that image to post.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions? Cool. I really enjoyed this.
Thanks, Ty.
Hey,
Yep.
Si, do you know if we can use Zoom? Like if I wanted to Zoom with like a client, for example, now that we're in COVID and, you know, I'm doing a listing presentation. So
Yeah.
do we have access to Zoom or?
Zoom is free. The only reason I'm on Jennifer's account is because if you use the free version of Zoom, it limits the amount of participants and it actually limits the amount of time the meeting can be. But it's like, I think it's 40 minutes. It might be,
I think you're right. I think it's what I heard. So you have to establish an account again. I mean, that's.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zoom is free. All you have to do is be like, hey, create an email, log in with or give it your email, create a password, and you're good to go. And if you guys want me to set up Zoom meetings, I'm happy to do that. I know that when I start having presentations, I'm going to be using it all of the time, lots and lots and lots with my clients. Yeah. So yeah, you guys can reach out to me. I'll set it up for you. If you have a meeting you want to get set up. Yep.
Thank you.
Are we good? All right. Have a nice day, guys.
All right,
See ya.
you too. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Si.
No problem.
Hey, John, stay around. Oh.
I'm ending the meeting, so you guys would have to. Yep.